No, honey. No. Sorry. Sorry, baby. No, not today. Not right now. No, not right now. No. No, babies. I love you. I'd love to show you off and maybe I can, but not this minute. Oh, Jesus.
Your audio is breaking up.
Here. $5 o'clock. Time for fun. I hope. And there he is, faithful. All right, let me. I have to blur my background because I'm at home. There I am. Woohoo. All right. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Isla. It is 5:02, so I'm a couple minutes past. That's okay, right? This is all about procrastination today. Well, and other things. A little, but it's not gonna be very long, so I'm just gonna read some stuff and then, be on my way, not take up too much time. And I guess I can make this first one my butt first. My name is Isla. This is Isla Brock. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. This is Most Things Hypnosis. I'm live at 5 every Thursday. And I hope you will join me every Thursday or watch me on the Central Valley Hypnotherapy YouTube channel. You can see all of my shows there. They're all just recorded. And starting at the beginning of January, I think it's January, the first Friday, the 3rd, yes, it'll be 8 in the morning and I think 11:30 at night. I'll have to get the actual station links, but my TV 53 in Fresno, or is it the Austin Reed Network? I'm confused on some of that. But anyway, I have my own TV like show, if you will. Really excited about it. And it's going to be about all things hypnosis. I don't think that's what I'm going to call it. It's probably going to be Hypno News, just to kind of dispel. I have 12 shows, every one show a week. It'll be pre-recorded. So I'm looking forward to that. More details to come. Meanwhile, okay, so that's the niceties. I'm just going to read this little tidbit I came across this past week. And I thought it was very enlightening. Let's see if I can read it, and I'll try not to interrupt myself while doing so. All right. If I can get the scroll to stop covering it up. Need a little bit of my lemon water here. Get going. In 1995, the psychologist Daniel Goleman published a hugely successful book called Emotional Intelligence. His book proposed that your ability to understand and manage emotions, both your own and other people's, plays a far more important role in your success in life than traditional academic intelligence. Goleman brought together many different scientific studies that support this theory. For example, in one famous experiment performed in the 1970s, children between the ages of 3 and 5 were tested on their ability to delay gratification for a longer-term reward. Each child is greeted by an experimenter, and a marshmallow is placed in front of them on a table. The child was told that if they didn't eat the marshmallow while the experimenter was out of the room, they would receive a second marshmallow. When alone in the room with the marshmallow, many of the children visibly struggled with their urge for instant gratification by turning their heads away and closing their eyes. Some succeeded. Others gave in to the temptation. Years later, it was found that these children had gone on to live very different lives. Those, those who had been able to resist the marshmallow in that early experiment had achieved much better academic results than the ones who gave in to temptation. They were earning more money in their careers, they had better social skills, they were healthier, and they were much less likely to have developed substance abuse problems or to have spent time in jail. In fact, this one experiment was a much better predictor of the children's success than any IQ test. Indeed, many high accomplished, successful people only achieve relatively average scores when they are given a high IQ test, or an IQ test. Traditional academic intelligence is certainly helpful up to a point in life, but it's by no means the biggest factor when it comes to your overall success and happiness. And the good news is that emotional intelligence is something that you can develop and improve. One aspect of the marshmallow experiment is that it isn't often reported, is that the researchers found that they could teach those children how to better resist the marshmallow. And your marshmallow could be a metaphor for anything. Yes, I know I interrupted myself. For example, when the children were taught to imagine the marshmallow as being in a frame, like a black and white photo, they tended to find it significantly easier to resist the temptation. Your ability to understand and manage your emotions is not set in stone, and it may be more helpful to think of emotional intelligence as a set of important learnable emotional skills that you can always get better at throughout your life. And then I work on some hypnotics to help people allow yourself to develop this emotional intelligence, emotional maturity, if you will, in your life. So that's the understanding of this. Okay, so the second thing, I've just glanced at it, but I thought it was, my glance was very interesting. It's about procrastination, overcoming procrastination. This is a big one because I don't think there's a person anywhere that doesn't procrastinate something. And some people are really, really good at it and they get nothing done. Some people get some things done and some people put off other things. But why are you putting it off and procrastinating? One of my, I don't know if it's a complaint, concerns. It's not a complaint, it's a concern. When a client comes in week after week after week, and all I've asked them to do every week is to just please just listen to the recording I've made in session. Just listen to it once a day, and that's it. That's all I'm asking somebody to do. Listen, and that's it. And they have a real hard time listening to that recording. So what do you do? Hang on just a second. I wanted to, otherwise that's going to keep chiming. Okay, so I will just ask them, what's their resistance? I was talking to even Santa, who has joined me today as a spectator, if you will. And it's resistance. What are they resistance? They're procrastinating doing something because of, and it's just they don't want to get it done. I do it. We do it, some severely, and some it's become a habit to procrastinate and put it off because the job has become so overwhelming. You're looking at the entire picture of the job. So instead of doing that, one thing you can do is just chunk it down to one tiny little piece. So in my case with my clients who don't listen, I just want them, we work on a plan that works best for them. Sometimes it's just, you're going to have to wake up 15 minutes earlier, or if you go to bed at 10, great. Start listening to recording at 9, but I watch the show at 9. Well, 8:45, you're going to have to make some effort because you're paying me money to help you. And part of me helping you is you learning how to help yourself. I can't fix you. I can't cure you. I don't do that. That's not my job. My job is to just help create new, what we call knowns or message units in your subconscious mind that become the habit that you desire. Okay, let's go back to procrastination. This little article I found, it's not always bad. It's not always a bad thing to decide to put off doing a piece of work. Sometimes you need to wait before beginning a project. Maybe we have to wait until other tasks have been cleared out of the way. If the project or task requires creative thinking, then the unconscious mind may need time to develop ideas. Speaking of that, after this show, I'm going to be talking to a friend who has asked me to make a flyer for them. And I use Canva, canva.com. I love that program. It's got lots of opportunity, lots of things for me to choose from. But for some reason, I just can't seem to be inspired to make this flyer. I've done one, I thought it was good, but they didn't like it, which is fine. They don't have to like it, but it's like, okay, well, how am I gonna, what am I, and they've got millions. So I'll be spending my evening looking for the perfect combination of colors and designs and create my own or whatever. Okay, so it's time. This is what I think this here. I'm not procrastinating the project, although I probably am, because I just can't think of how I want it to look. Sometimes someone says something to me and it just appears. Okay. So the unconscious mind needs time to develop an idea. Forcing it will only slow matters down. However, when the only thing preventing us getting started is ourselves, which is different, our lives are made less efficient, organized, and less successful than they could be. Then procrastination works against your own best interests. I think I mentioned it last week, and it could have been the week before, that some people are high profile people that are in the world. I was specifically referring to Dwayne Johnson and I don't remember a couple others, but they get up early in the morning. Oh, Steve Harvey. They get up early in the morning and they don't procrastinate. They get up, they do their schedule every day. And they don't procrastinate that schedule and they get the stuff done. But also remember, they have a staff that does stuff for them that they don't have to do. So they don't have to, unorganize or reorganize that junk drawer, the closet, or anything like that. They don't worry about procrastinating their domestic duties or chores because they hire people to do it for them. But then there's the commoners like me that have chores that need to be done. So I did the laundry, I just haven't folded it or put it away. Anyway, back to trying to create ideas and then working out against our own best interests. Most people have procrastinated at some point, as I said earlier. That is, you're putting off what you know should really get done and get going on to another time or another day. Some people can spend hours or days or weeks avoiding getting on with the task that might only take a few hours to do if they just got it done, or maybe even a few minutes. I know people it could take them 15 minutes to do something and they don't do it. Excuse me. The patterns of procrastination go something like this. First, of course, there's something you need to do, whether that's writing a project, cleaning the garage, organizing a closet, doing your laundry, doing your taxes, preparing a speech, whatever it is, writing an ebook. Yes, my daughter's pushing me to do that. There's a project. There's something you need to do. Secondly, you have a good intention of starting, and maybe you do get it started because you really should, but then you get a subtle inner feeling of resistance. We're back to that R word again. What's resisting you? Why are you not starting your business? Why are you pretending to be in business? Why are you just faking it or not taking it seriously? Whatever that is, that thing that you're supposed to be getting done. I'm in business, so I'm preaching to the choir here. Maybe it's a feeling about the anxiety about the task. And some tasks can create anxiety just doing it. Maybe it feels too overwhelming and you don't know where to begin. Perhaps you really want to do a good job at something and you're scared of not being able to do it well enough, so you don't dare begin. It could be a feeling of sulkiness, rebelliousness, because the task you've got to do feels boring or difficult when you're thinking about doing it. And then you don't see why you should have to do it in the first place or do it right now. So the task gets put off as a vague, non-specific future event. I'll do it someday. Something you'll get around to eventually. And in the meantime, that old displacement of activities kick in, and somehow your daytime TV program becomes a priority, or you're binge watching at night, or that phone call to a friend you haven't spoke to. Something else comes up and that becomes the priority. And at this point in the cycle, we justify our actions by kidding ourselves that there are good reasons for these other activities. And deep down there isn't. You just don't want to do the activity that you're supposed to do. Then the next phase is the pressure starts to build in your building. The deadlines are approaching, disappointment, disgust in yourself, impatience, anger. All of that begins to build. Perhaps you're getting a boss issue trying to get you whatever it is. Excuse me, I'm trying to clear my phones. The boss or some other outside influence starts to put pressure on you with many tasks. There comes a point when it comes more painful not to begin the task than to put it off again. Maybe it has to be handed in tomorrow, or if the returns aren't sent away over, that very night, the tax office will fine you. Whatever it is, the job now has to be done, and now that pressure builds. Maybe you thrive on that pressure. Next is the actual doing of the job itself. It often turns out to be far easier and quicker than all the initial messing around avoiding it to get started, oftentimes. But there are really big jobs out there that just might take a really long time. And that's where chunking down comes in. When the job is done at last, I finished. The final step in the staple on the last thing or the whatever, that procrastination style cycle might be relief. I've completed the task. Perhaps a tinge of a little regret that you didn't just do it in the first place. If I did, I wouldn't have put myself through all this grief. So what you can be helped in a hypnotic state or in hypnotherapy or in hypnosis is to help you break free from the old procrastination habit. James Clear wrote a book on atomic habits, and it's creating habit systems, and they're pretty good. It's a pretty good read. By guiding your unconscious mind to release that inner sense of resistance, which is at the core of the procrastination, you can help yourself to start doing it. And that doesn't mean get hypnotized and immediately you're not a procrastinator. It's a process and it's a behavior change, because somewhere along the way, you created a strategy to be a procrastinator, or you learned it along the way. And that when you learned it from somebody, that created a strategy to create the procrastination behavior. So making each day a struggle, instead of making each day a struggle and an endless battle with yourself, getting things done, you can start to listen, create, I'm sorry, I'm all tongue-tied. You can create your own new habit system and getting things done. And it's baby steps for some people. And you'll just notice that you become more calm, more efficient. Remember, your mind is a pattern recognition machine, and it's a very efficient goal machine. And its current goal is to procrastinate. That is a goal in your subconscious mind. Procrastinate. It's at least 88% of your brain energy and power. It holds the power. So if you're going to have 88% controlling the show, no matter what you do, you might as well let it control a good part of the parts that you want consciously. So you want to get out of your own way. And you're just going to notice that you're becoming more efficient. It may take a little bit of time, but your efficiency grows. That's where hypnotherapy, hypnosis can come in and be of benefit to you. Okay. So all that to say is you got to learn how to chunk things down. I have a list of things that I need to get done. And I have one small area that I haven't quite figured out how to not procrastinate it. So when I moved into my new building, from my old office, I had a room in my old office that was just kind of my junk room with all the boxes and everything, and I never quite unpacked. So now I'm in my new office and I'm following that same pattern. So I'm realizing it. So now it's okay, how am I going to make this work? And one of the things that I'm just like, okay, I need to create another therapy room so that I can have more, I can rent out more time to other people. And I don't rent it for real expensive. I just think people need to have skin in it when they rent from me. And it's not, I don't need the money to, pay things as much as, well, I use it for like coffee and stuff, or I give it to my boyfriend. Just here, hold the money, put it in safe. I don't care. So learning to release that inner sense of resistance, you can just by, well, you can do it on your own at a 12% energy power. And some psychiatrists say our conscious mind is only a 10%. So regardless, it's not very much. And subconscious mind does hold the show, does control your autonomic nervous system. It is wanting to keep things at comfort zone. And if you've been in comfort zone on not getting things done, you're going to stay there for a lot longer. Hoarders are kind of like that. Their intention is strong and they hoard so horribly because they're so afraid to let things go. In today's world of technology, I have friends, the one gentleman that I know from years and years, so 40 years ago, he probably has tens of thousands of magazines. And it's like, why do you keep all of it? Because there's an article in that one I want to read someday. So go read it or get rid of the magazines. And did you know, most of the time you're going to find that article either is obsolete, the information, or two, you'll find it online. And you don't have to hold all these magazines. And you're going to find you have so much room and space in your space that you don't have to worry about it anymore. So it's technology can be of benefit to us. I know a pastor from years ago. He was on his way to move, him and his family moving to Cambodia, and books are heavy. So when you're shipping your life the other side of the earth, it can be very expensive. So instead of taking his whole physical library, he took all of his books and he PDF'd them all and just started making them into PDF. So he carried on the plane his little Kindle with his, 3,000 book access that he didn't have to carry, and that didn't cost him anything. So he was able to lighten the load and put things that they really, their other belongings or whatever they needed in those containers that they were shipping there. So technology can work for you. And nowadays you can find so much information on technology. I just learned one today. I'm not allowed to tell you. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. This is being recorded and I don't want it to get in trouble. But a way to find books that you couldn't otherwise find. So that's good to know. And I like books. I like to read. I was even reading today, 2 different books. Read one for a few minutes and then I turned around and started reading the other one. Then I would read that one. Weird like that. But one of them is about 25 steps to get over a relationship. I have a lot of clients coming in, they're having problems with relationships. And so I'm, looking this one over. Some of their 25 steps, some of the steps are stupid. I would not advise anybody on some of the advice that the author's giving, but some of it's okay. And it's just another way to word it. You just learn a new way to think things. All right. Well, that's my show for today, guys. I know it's like 24 minutes in and people are wanting my attention. They haven't had time to bother me yet. Anyway, take care, everyone. Have a fabulous weekend. And I look forward to us being together next week. And again, you can watch this on Central Valley Hypnotherapy YouTube channel. And next week, I'll have more details about my show, my actual program coming up a week later. And it's just, it's scary and fun. And I got to write a script every week and it'll be professionally edited and produced. So that's kind of cool. Having a producer. Yay. Take care. And I look forward to next week's show, which will be most things hypnosis. Probably more on hypnosis. If you have something interesting you'd like to share, just let me know. I'm right there. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you.